Thank you. Well, we're actually two, and I'm not Kwan-Tek, I'm Thomas. We have a very nice introduction on energy storage. Actually, it's quite a big issue, and one green solution for this could be hydrogen. The problem with hydrogen is it's a super tiny molecule. It leaks very much, and this is a big concern for scalability of hydrogen. And actually, even holes as small as 10 micron are a major concern. And the problem is there is actually no way to detect such tiny defects non-destructively efficiently. So what we believe is that actually diamond quantum sensors, NV diamond quantum sensors, can be the solution to this problem. So I'm Thomas Hingant. I'm head of research at Kwan-Tek. I've been working on NV sensors since about 10 years during my PhD. And so I was extremely excited to join the company, which was aiming at developing commercial solutions based on NV.
Hi, I'm Roland de Chapelle. I'm a board member at Kwan-Tek. I'm also acting as head of business development. I've recently joined in order to help this company to get its market. I have a quite long experience in building startups, having created 4 startups that have been valued between 15 to several hundred million. Kwan-Tek as such was started in 2020, more as a lab than a company, to be honest. That's why it went bust last summer and was purchased by a fund, recovery fund, in order to relaunch the company. Nevertheless, the previous entity spent 9 million very wisely in building the building blocks on which we are now manufacturing our products, assess quite efficiently the best market fit for this technology, and finally gathered a team that is now fully experienced of 17 people in R&D out of a 25 people staff company. 10 patents have been filed, and we've been awarded a number of recognitions by academics and by other entities.
Okay, so the core of the technology is the NV center in diamond. So the NV center is a defect of diamond which behaves pretty much like an atom trapped in a solid. And thanks to a very simple green laser, you can transform this atom into a very efficient either magnetometer or thermometer. And the nice advantages of NV centers is that they combine the solid state integration, so you can put micrometer sized diamond at the end of an optical fibers like this. But they also combine this with sensitivity and accuracy that you find in quantum sensors. So quantum sensing, you can see it as part of the quantum market or part of the sensing market. In both ways, it's estimated to be 3 to 5 billion by 2030. And so how do we get there? Well, as I indicated before, we see that there is quite a nice opportunity in non-destructive testing due to the extremely high resolution of NV centers and their high sensitivity. But there are all other markets along the way that will benefit from NV advantages, mainly instrumentation with the sensitivity of the sensor and the versatility. And navigation, especially GNSS-free navigation, because of the solid-state nature of the sensor with optimal integrability and the stability of the quantum sensor. Okay, and the very nice thing about these markets is that they use the same building blocks, the same technology, so they share the same physics, but they also share the same hardware. And so by developing instrumentation, we're also developing non-destructive testing. And so for this, we have already, as Roland indicated, a team of 17 people in R&D, and we are supervised by world-class scientific advisors, such as Jean-François Roch, who has been a pioneer in NV centers. And the team has sold already a first product, Quanteach, which is now sold to 12 universities in France. So it's a very simple teaching platform for teaching quantum physics, but nonetheless it allows to perform a wide range of experiments, and thanks to that we have had a very nice feedback from the market, and we are starting to scale up to the international. And we have a second product in the pipe, in instrumentation, which is a magnetometer where we leverage from the very well integrated NV Center for producing miniaturized sensor, ultra stable, which is a combination which is actually not available in the market.
So where do we stand in terms of business? Basically, you have to understand we sell two things. We sell products that we design, manufacture, and sell. And we sell also studies to mainly POCs at the beginning to large corporations that want to test our technology. Roughly in 2024, it's about 50-50. We aim to reach 2.4 million this year. About 30% is already in our books. Nevertheless, we are burning around 300,000 K per month, that will be short of cash in early 2025, with a peak of 900,000 around October of 2025. So this is the reason why we are doing some fundraising. We are doing a seed at the moment in order to scale the products that are already in the market and that to be sold very soon. But at the same time, continuing investing for the NDT and NAV market. The proceeds of this 1.2 will be split roughly 2/3 for the scalability of the current products and 1/3 for continuing investing into NAV and CND. And we intend to do in 2025 a Series A of between 5 to 7 million. That will enable us then to accelerate on those two latest markets we want to attack in order to reach hopefully 100 million in 2031. So what basically we have to offer? We believe we have a unique offer for you to invest in a company, a French company, that has a lead and wants to become one of the leaders in global sensing markets that we've assumed to be around $1 billion. And the credentials we are proposing is first a team that is trained, 3 years experience into it, which is led by some renowned metrology experts. The company is now restructured, fully KPI driven, processed, focused on two specific markets. Then, honestly, we have products that is meeting demand, and that is done through a 9 million euro invested that is already fully amortized. We've got 0 debt and a prospect of profitability to be achieved quite soon. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I just have one question. What would be your first use case and what type of client?
In which industry?
Yes, which industry and which, well, I understand
Because
it's
we've got a use case.
non-destructive controls, but when are you selling your first product and to what type of client?
So you mean for the non-destructive testing, the timeline?
Yes.
And so for non-destructive, we are at the moment relatively low in TRL, typically around TRL 3 to 4. So we estimate about between 3 to 5 years of development to have a first product up and running on the market. And for the use case, we have 2 major identified use cases. So we mentioned liquid hydrogen before. And essentially what is really key, what we identify as key, is really the combination of high resolution and high sensitivity of the NV. So anything where tiny defects are to be detected is really relevant. So markets where tiny defects are critical. So typically energy with the nuclear and aeronautics, where you can't afford a failure, even due to a tiny defect.
Thank you, and thank you for using my report from last year. When we did that research, we realized that the main target industry is defense. So I'd like to ask you where you are discussing with them, because they will probably be the main buyers in the short term, just because they can afford low volume, high price type of applications, and they do have use cases. For example, in navigation, where GPS denied type of applications, for example. I have also a question. So you mentioned you manufacture. Do you intend to manufacture the NV centers, or do you plan to source from companies like Element 6? And maybe the last element that is linked to the previous one is, what is your differentiation? There are other NV diamond companies out there. Is it on cost, for example, because you want to, or for example, to manufacture or something else? How do you plan to differentiate?
Okay, so thank you for the question. So there are several questions, so I'll try to address them in order. First of all, for defense, this is why we have this navigation vertical. So we already have customer in the field, and this is what drives us towards this field, and we see that as a de-risking. Now, for the diamond sourcing, we already source from other suppliers such as Element 6 or startups like IQ2B. And so we want to be builders of solutions. We don't want to make the diamonds. We are integrators, but we strive at bringing quality in the diamond. So we test the diamonds and we want to push that towards the industry. So we are trying to structure the diamond industry. And last, what differentiates us from other NV players? So I mean, there are many NV players, many different applications, which is a great thing of NV. I think from the already established players like Qnami, Qzab, there are really more targeting research applications. And so for other applications, I think for non-destructive testing, we are perhaps the most advanced company. So on this application, we have really a key value on the interaction we have with the market. On navigation, I think there is a strategy also, and the positioning is a differentiation. And then in the longer term, we strive. I mean, this is we are also in development, but this is much more research to leverage from the solid state aspect of the NV to, I mean, in the 10-15 years, be able to really scale up and bring down the cost of the magnetometers.
Maybe one last question, thanks. So this number 1 billion global quantum sensing market, how is that split up today? Do you know roughly what shares your competitors have, and how you will go from where you are today to your ideal share by 2034? I can't remember the exact number, of 100 million in revenue.
Right. The market as such is assessed between 3 to 4, okay? The 1 billion is the one we believe we can address, okay? And as such, in one of the slides, we split it in between NDT, which I recall to be 500 million, sorry. The NV to be 300 million, navigation, and instrumentation altogether around 150. So, does that answer your question?
Thank you very much.
Thank you.